you get that maximum growth and that maximum equity, especially if you're holding properties. So I previously hadn't really targeted high growth locations because I was in the business, and I still am in the business of property development. But over time, I've started to hold properties because I've realized that the capital growth actually can make a whole lot more money. You don't have to do any work for it. So property development, you build in instant equity, but over the long term, that equity, that extra capital growth just helps. And it also means that you don't have to, do it, be active. It's a passive strategy. So I can be doing other property development projects, and I'm holding other properties that grow in value without me having to actually physically do the work to build in that equity. So just by default, I've picked high growth locations, and most of that has been off the back of undersupply. With property development, I've always targeted locations that have been in undersupply because I've always wanted to be able to sell the product even in a down market. And I see that as a risk mitigation measure. So just by default, I've bought in really good locations that have gotten growth. And there's things I've learned over time, what to do, what not to do, because I've sold various different properties. And I've also seen what properties in those suburbs have performed. Admittedly, most of the properties I've purchased have been around Brisbane CBD within the 10, 15K ring. I've bought other properties on the outskirts of Brisbane. I've done a whole heap of properties in Ipswich. I've bought some stuff up north as well, in Rockhampton and other parts. So I've been all around, looked at various different markets for a long time. And the common consistent thing is the location gives the property its value. There's no other way to put that. Unfortunately, I hate to admit that real estate agents at auction are correct about location. That is true. However, that is true only to an extent, because it still comes down to the individual property. So when real estate agents talk about it at auction, they actually don't know really what they're talking about. They always talk about location, but they're more talking about the micro location rather than the broad location.